What is Vita Carnis? Vita Carnis, which is Latin for living meat, were documented by National Living Meat Research. The Vita Carnis species appeared in 1931, skyrocketing across the world throughout the decades. These creatures are basically made out of muscle, organs, and bone. Yeah, these guys are living flesh. The species are split into 6 entities, 7 if you count the crawl. Some can be adorable or creepy to me. Some can be very useful for the environment, or some that are just absolutely terrifying. I'm going to be going through each of them one at a time for each video. So yeah, please like this video if you want to see that. You guys are going to see this during the first month of October. And again, I said this multiple times, I want to talk about more things outside of anime because there's a lot of things that I like. Video games, analog horror, which is this, and a lot more. So yeah, thank you for understanding because I don't want to talk about strictly just anime. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments about Vita Carnis. Vita Carnis, the crawl. The crawl are plant-like organisms that resemble small intestines spreading throughout the entire world. Each have a variety of veins, arteries, and organs which are used to transport nutrients absorbed by its surroundings. The tendrils also have similar growth patterns, just like vines, mold, and fungi. Also, the crawl is edible. Like, there's a whole video talking about how to make a cheese crawl penne. Hey, you are not going to catch me eating this. If anybody is serving this during Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner, I'm not going and I'm cutting you off. I feel like if I eat this, something is going to crawl out of me, like out of my chest. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not eating this. The crawl's branches sometimes grow nods of meat which fall off and live off as their own independent organisms. Examples being the trimmings, which I'll talk about in next video. Okay, that's all I got on the crawl so far. Really hope you guys like this video. It's spooky month, so I'm going to be talking about this for a whole month. Hope you guys understand. Vita Carnis, the Trimmings. This is the first creature that grew from the crawl, fell off, and lived on as its own organism. Trimmings are small little creatures, resembling skinned raccoons. It is a lot more disturbing when I say it out loud. Damn. Like most of the Vita Carnis species, this one is mostly made out of meat tissues. As a result, they all had this blood red coloring. They also resemble ticks, with a plump abdomen, small head, miniature ears and eyes, and a wide gaping mouth. All individual trimmings are unique. Some have different body structures, different number of legs, and other unique features. The maximum length that a trimming can reach is 20 centimeters, basically a basketball. I wouldn't be surprised if guys were actually taking that and using it as a basketball when their basketball pops. Well, in fact, you guys can have these as pets. Me personally, I'm not having it. Probably some of my friends will, but I don't know, maybe. Okay, I got all the important stuff down for the trimmings. I'm going to be talking about MatPat's personal favorite, the meat snake. Now let me know your thoughts in the comments. Vita Carnis, the meat snake, MatPat's personal favorite. Meat snakes are worm-like creatures made of a variety of different types of meat, coated in a transparent, skin-like membrane. The diet consists of dead animals or parts, and they're incapable of consuming other living organisms. Meat snakes are basically garbage disposal since they only eat dead bodies. And people use this to their advantage. They use it for butchers, roadkill, and war. They also take the skulls of the animals that they consume and use it as their own. Meat snakes normally grow 5 meters or 16 feet. But people have shown that they can grow up to 40 meters. That is insanely long. Pause. The largest one was found after World War II. Quote, extremely engorged meat snake with impeccable size. Consumed so many bodies that it grew up to 8 times the average length. The skin of this is also darker and much harder. Pause. Alright, that's all I got for the meat snake. Next is the mimic. Really hope you guys like this series. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Vita Carnis, the mimic. Now we're getting to the scary part of the Vita Carnis species. Mimics are humanoid creatures with creepy smiles, extended limbs, and bulging eyes, in a diet composed of human flesh. Because of this, they're only spotted in human-populated areas. The mimic has 3 stages. This stage resembles trimmings but a lot skinnier. This stage, they only hunt small animals, going larger and larger as they grow. Then it will begin metamorphosis and look like this. That's when their hunting style changes and becomes much more complicated. Now it stalks and feeds only on humans. To blend in, they use objects to conceal themselves. Clothing, mannequins, and furniture. The mimic watches their prey from a distance and catches them when they're most vulnerable. The more humans they eat, the more human they look and darker their skin is. The only way you can ever spot them is their extended limbs, smile, and bulging eyes. That's all I got for the mimic. Next is the harvester. Let me know your thoughts so far in the comments. Vita Carnis, the harvester. These are large masses of flesh that plant themselves in the earth and extend roots out in all directions. These can extend up to 150 meters in diameter horizontally. Harvesters are also created differently. Instead of detaching itself from the mother branch, it begins to grow larger and larger and grows its own tendrils. The energy the harvester uses to extend its tendrils is directly provided by the mother branch. This is the most frightening thing about the harvester. These roots have thorns that will stab into any large animal that walks on them. These thorns are full of venom, disabling the nervous system, and it prevents the victim's blood from clotting. You're gonna die from blood loss and then your body will be consumed. The worst part about it all, there's no way you're surviving. Here's a video that shows you what death by a harvester is like, and it's very disturbing. And I will not be going outside knowing that this thing is out there. Well, that is all for the harvester. Next is the host of influence. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Vita Carnis, the host of influence. The host of influence, or the host, is a semi-humanoid organism, having the structure of the head, torso, and arms. The lower half of the host is comprised of a mass of fibrous tissues and tendrils that burrow into the ground to keep it in place. Instead of skin, the host is made out of muscle tissue fibers, tendons, and veins. The hosts have spines that extend from their backs, releasing clouds of orange spores that affect other organisms. So you need to keep clear of these spores at all times. Luckily, they're only found in North America, but getting information from the host is very risky because of their rarity and how dangerous it is when you get close to it. Also, these spores are very dangerous when inhaled. The spores will enter your brain and alter your mind temporarily, compelling them to sacrifice themselves to the host. They'll tear out your organs and devour them and leave the leftovers. Also, there's a video about it that used the spores. All I got for the host. Next is the monoliths. Let me know your thoughts. Vita Carnis, the monoliths. These creatures appeared in 1972, standing in a perfect circle in a redacted location, also surrounding something else that's also been redacted. The circle they make is also 1.5 kilometers in diameter. By looking closely in the map, we can figure out that the location is in Hudson Bay, Canada. There are only 7 monoliths that are the size of a 37-story skyscraper. That's over 400 feet tall. Their legs are firmly rooted into the ground with dozens of tendrils that move around places. The monoliths really don't do anything. They don't really react to anything around them. One time a military group tried to bomb one of the monoliths, but they released an AMP pulse that disabled the attack. Even though other attacks didn't do anything against them since they just repaired themselves. I'm going to make a video about the AMP pulse later. That's all I got for the monoliths. Next is the origin of the Vita Carnis species, the Singularity. Alright, let me know your thoughts so far about the Vita Carnis species. Vita Carnis, the Singularity. The Singularity is a sphere made out of a dark mineral containing a luminous material inside its core. It's 1 meter in diameter and can float up in the air with unseen force. Not much is known about this entity, and the government wants to keep it that way. People in the National Living Meat Research were arrested for making a documentary about the Singularity. We do know that there are 7 of them, located in Hudson Bay, Canada. Its intelligence is shown by their constant transmissions of radio frequencies, which cannot be decrypted by human technology. Despite their high control over the Carnis, they seem to lack the ability to defend themselves. The video New Beginnings, it didn't do anything to try to escape the lab, but it was still active because later in the video it was noted that there was a horde of Trimmings staying outside the facility. Okay, that's pretty much all I have for the Singularity. If I'm missing something, please tell me in the comments. Okay, that's all of the Vita Carnis species. Let me know your thoughts in the comments if you enjoyed this.